All right, it is Tuesday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for the fastest rising pro wrestling live stream podcast on the internet today. It is time for Tooney Talk Wrestling. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I am the Movie Monster, and I am pleased to welcome you back to another week of nonstop wrestling conversation. So much happened. I had a nervous breakdown on Saturday because we streamed for 8 hours during All In, and honestly, it was the longest pay-per-view I have ever sat through, which is legitimate because it is, I think officially now, the longest wrestling pay-per-view that has ever existed. I think it is now officially declared the longest beat out WrestleMania 35 as being the longest pay-per-view ever. So, and here's the funny part. It wasn't all bad. Oh, there were matches that I actually thought were quite good, but I mean, it was just entirely too long. And then the press scrum was the greatest torture that I've ever had to go through in my life. But guys, we're going to talk about it all tonight. But I can't do it by myself. I need the best team going in the world of pro wrestling today. So let's bring them out. Big business Kevin Apollo is here.
What's going on, mate? I didn't think you saw me in there.
I did. I have it set now where it makes a little like chime when somebody comes in. So now I get the alerts. I learned how to do that from Vash. So nice. Kevin Apollo, you missed the festivities on Saturday. That is why you're probably still sane. Oh my goodness, what is happening right now?
I'm being Vash right now.
Oh, the resemblance is actually uncanny. All you have to do is call me good sir and hello, good sir. I love that guy so much. But yeah, you missed it. Did you happen to watch Evolution on Sunday?
I watched Evolution and I didn't finish going through Goldberg. I fell asleep. But I watched Evolution. Evolution was actually infinitely better than I thought it was going to be.
So much better. Like it was the big shocker. Like I had, we'll get to it in a second. We should bring out the rest of the team first. Awful Wrestling is here. What? Why am I looking at bald FTR's round face right now?
Hey, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Kev, what's happening?
What's going on, bro?
Man came in and did a run-in without us knowing. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, he popped in during the entrance. So
he looks like a guy that would fire you. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why don't you come in? Close the door.
Yeah. We need to talk. He doesn't need, you know what? He doesn't need like the person, you know how like it's HR and then it's your immediate supervisor? He's just like, we don't need no immediate supervisor. Ain't no trouble happening here in this office.
I have always felt that when people get called into his office, it's like when Earl Sinclair on Dinosaurs would get called into Mr. Richfield's trailer at the tree yard where like you don't know if you're going to get eaten or what's going to happen when you come out of there.
Oh my God, Marv, you pull out TV shows that are like, what the hell? I remember that show.
Yeah, that's what I
deep
what
diving.
I shoot for. That's what I shoot for. Dis is here. Hello, Dis.
Is that what I sound like?
Yes.
You scared the shit out of me just now because I thought it happened again.
It's all been a big prank. I've been making that noise the whole time. I'm just trying to.
This has this affliction now apparently where all of a sudden his audio cuts out and he just sounds like.
Oh God!
And it happened before the show, and it's the reason why we were late. So
the crazy thing is that, like I said, it's happened on 2 different computers, so it's got to be my internet. That's the only thing that's the only through line to everything. But I'm on Starlink, and I'm getting almost 200 megabytes per second, so it must be just something weird about the transmission or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's going now.
Look at you with Starlink.
I know. I had to. Dude, you live out. It's either Starlink or I get 3 megabytes per second. Those are my options.
Yeah,
Pick
no,
one.
I get that. I
Starlink
get
is
that.
the only reason I'm here right now.
Yeah. So,
Well, guys, now that we are all together, we can welcome you guys onto the show because this is your show. This show is made for you and financed by you. We're counting your generous super chats to keep the lights on around here. We take a break to read your super chats in between each story or topic that we do, but we do take breaks for super chats of $50 or more. So if you send in $50 or more, we stop whatever we're doing to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. So let's get to it already. I see a whole bunch of super chats have already come in. Zach K for $4.99 says, great stream Saturday. I felt your pain during the press scrum portion. Hope you guys got to watch Evolution, or did you go to the Red House?
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people too.
It's a
I know.
funny story. As I said on Tooney Talk TV, that's actually where Kevin and I met, became friends at the Red House.
Right, at the Red House.
It's true. It brings people together. So I did not watch Evolution until today. And even then I skipped a couple of matches, but because I was so wrestlinged out by the end of Sunday, I was just kind of like in a coma. Because I was just so aggravated after 8 straight hours of this stuff. But yeah, we did watch Evolution. We are going to talk about it. So David Carradine's Closet. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you get to watch Raw? Because that was Evolution 2.
I had heard that. I heard it was Evolution 2, but I didn't get to watch Raw. David Carradine's Closet for $5 Canadian says, if a Canadian tuxedo was a jean jacket and jeans, what would you call what EO wore on Raw? # Red House.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people too.
Is this the new thing? Is this like the new thing that people are going to be asking for? Is the Red House? What did she wear? What did she wear on Raw? Dis?
A Canadian bikini.
Yeah, she wore quote unquote shorts, but they were just right up her butt, just right all the way.
Oh,
I was gonna call it an Asian fetishist trap.
There you go.
oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. Blazing Bolts for $10. What's up, Tooney Town crew? Hope you guys are doing well. Had a blast hanging out with you guys for Saturday's stream. Let's have another 8-hour stream tonight. # Team Tooney Town for life. Well, we are listening to a Tony Khan X live stream today, so it's possible this could turn into another 8-hour stream. Depending on, I have not watched it yet. I'm going in blind. So what was that, Awful?
Quick question. Anything coming out of the scrum that you guys saw? I mean, there was not a peep about it from what I've seen online.
Because it's just nonsense.
Okay.
He came out there. Who was the first one he brought out? It wasn't Hangman Page right away, was it? Or was it Page?
Page last. The first one.
Okay.
I don't remember, dude.
I don't remember who the I don't remember who the first one was. Oh, it might have been like Athena or something like that. I don't know. They came out. Tony Storm came out and was like, "I cream my panties. All four of Mercedes' lips taste wonderful. Shit piss fuck cunt." Like it was just.
Oh, Dustin.
She is. Oh, it was Dustin. Yeah, Dustin came out and cried.
He cried some more.
Everybody cried.
It was like Tony Storm. I think Tony Storm has officially taken the role of my least favorite wrestler on the planet, with just how, like, because it's like I don't care about cursing. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but
She's
there's a difference when
purposely
you know
obscene.
when somebody, that's the thing, you know, when someone is doing it just because they got nothing else, and like there is an art form to being like a Seinfeld style comedian who was a clean comedian who never relied on language, who never relied on like being like outrageous to get laughs, because being outrageous is the quickest way to get laughs. Whereas she's just screaming obscenities into the void, and you know, like I'm like, it's
shout out Sinbad and Brian Regan.
Just a wild and crazy guy.
But like, remember when Christian turned on Edge and he said, "Go F yourself"? It meant something because you've never heard Christian talk like that before.
Right.
So it meant something. You're just like, oh man, they mean it. And then from that point forward, it was like everyone in AEW got to say the F word all the time, and they never stopped. And now it means nothing, just like everything else in AEW.
Did we miss the spot that I saw on X during the Mercedes Tony Storm match, where Tony Storm had her in a tombstone and started to munch on her box?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we just weren't looking at the screen during that moment, but like, I was just like, wow, like that makes the Mickie James like licking of her fingers something completely.
Where do you think they got the inspiration from?
Oh my gosh!
But and again, with Mickie James, the reason it was shocking is because it hadn't been done. They do this every week, so who cares?
Right.
You know, it's stupid. Right. It's just crass.
Blazing Bolts for $10 also says, hope one day my favorite of all time, the final boss, The Rock, hosts a reality show with midgets. It would beat AEW in the ratings for sure. # team bring it. I don't know if The Rock would ever do something like that. But you know, maybe. I mean, he'll pretty much do anything at this point. Well, they don't let him
75 cents. The Rock says, bring it.
Well, you know, I saw a trailer for that movie that he's doing where he's what's the name of the guy that he's playing?
Mark Kerr.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that, and just that looks terrible. It really looks bad. You know, The Rock looks ridiculous with the hair. And it just looks like Rock trying to do Oscar bait. And
it reminded me a lot of Will Smith doing Ali.
Yeah.
When Will Smith did Ali, and you're just like, no, that's just Will Smith. That's not Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I never saw that movie. Does Will Smith meld? I think we talked about this before. How actors meld into their role over the course of the movie.
Yeah, no.
Will Smith doesn't do that. No. Okay.
No. The guy who played who was it? Howard Cosell. Wasn't Howard the Howard Cosell guy was fantastic in it.
Okay.
He kind of made up for it.
When you walk away from the Muhammad Ali movie and all you remember is Howard Cosell.
Yeah, really.
Andre Adams for $1.99, power to the 199 says, I feel like All In just ended 30 minutes ago. Feels like it. Uncultured Barbarian for $5 says Rhea Io blew the entire AEW event out of the water and gets awarded 4 out of 4 Glom Golds. That match was effing awesome.
Oh my god.
Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold!
We'll get into it, but we are going to talk at length about that and about the opener. Because Madon, that was some excellent stuff. John Williams from $4.99 says as Tony Khan, hey Monster, I think your letter for your housewarming party got lost. After all, what better way to celebrate a move than to watch Time Cop? Hey, if I were to host a Time Cop, I mean I have a pretty sweet setup for movies. So I've got the HD projector. So you know. Movies and gaming is fun at my house. Regina Sharp for 10. So then I said to Monkey Boy, Perry, who cares what McPunk said? If you want to use real glass, just go ahead and use real glass. Oh, it was being Drew. So then I said to Monkey Boy, Perry, who cares what McPunk said? If you want to use real glass, just go ahead and use real glass.
Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold!
There we go. Cody Duffy for $1.99 says, welcome back, Kev. How do you know it's him? It's wearing those glasses.
Hypno glasses.
They're hypno glasses, brother. Juan Alacan for $5 says, Kevin Apollo looking like Bob Sapp graduated college. # at the Red House. # cock-a-doo-doo-doo.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people too.
Mr. Jamie Jam for $4.99 says, Sean, we got swole Booker T. Oh, hey, Jammer Monster. Then Andre Adams for $4.99 says, Kev cosplaying as Mark Henry running a team building seminar.
I have a Shawn Michaels story, actually.
Do you really?
So,
Tell it.
So some OGs who remember the original Orange County Choppers, I managed to become friends with Joe from Orange County Choppers, who was the CEO at the time. So he came to my show on Saturday. We were talking, and he was, I guess, Raw was in Poughkeepsie for some reason. and they had put in a request. They needed a chopper there for Undertaker, so he got to go to the show. And he said he's like, it was like one of his best nights ever. He got a kiss in the cheek from Victoria and Trish Stratus, so he was flying high. And then he got to meet Triple H, like he was in Gorilla, and Hunter was going out. Like, and so just before his music hit, Hunter saw him and he was like, "Oh man, I'm a big fan of the show. Love it. It's freaking cool. I hope you have a good time, man." He goes out the car and goes. Then Shawn comes up, and Shawn just ignores him. He is like, "Why are you looking at me? Get away from me. Don't breathe near me. Jack." "But I'm Joe. Get out of here, Jack." Shawn goes out. They come back. And like, so he goes to shake Shawn's hand, and Shawn is just like, "What the heck do you want from me?" And like, and he just heals out on him. And Triple H is like, "What the F are you doing? Why is this happening right now? What's wrong with you?" He's like, "Yes, be nice for 5 minutes, God."
Wait, was this like Jesus era Shawn, or was this like
Jesus
90s?
era Shawn?
Wow. You never heard about Jesus? I mean, outside of bald FTR, you never heard about Jesus Shawn being mean to people.
Well, Stevie Richards got a couple of stories. But
Oh yeah.
he was like, yeah, just Triple H had to chastise him in the corner to get him to be nice.
Oh,
And he was all right after that, but it kind of ruined it for me.
Forever Runner for 199 says it's swole Teddy Long. Holla, holla. Regina Shop for $5 is getting so many mill office flashbacks from Kev's office. EP23 for 10 says All In was too long and all over the place. Feel for Seth, kind of weird, but did they mention the leg before the injury, or was it just me? Glad for Roman return. We get a match for Case to write Seth out, or Seth cashes in. It depends on if he's actually hurt. So, we don't really know yet. And then Ray for 5 says Rhea was dressed like a cyberpunk character. Io was dressed like the best Genus from My Hero Academia. And Naomi was dressed like a stand user from JoJo's. Blazing Bolts for 5 says the OTC Roman Reigns returned to the Red House. Hashtag OTC. I'm not going to play it again.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
To clarify about Seth, last night Heyman said that they have until July, and until July, Seth's when they find if he is going to be back before July, then they're not going to do anything with the.
It is July.
Yeah. So.
You mean he has
next
year.
July? He has until next year, is what he's saying. He said we got a whole year. We don't have to worry about the case right now. That's what Paul Heyman said.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when he comes back, it'll be the cash in.
Right. Yeah. Or if he's not injured, we don't know. There's a weird. We'll get into that.
Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, where do you want? Let's start with Evolution, I guess, because man, it was. I was not expecting it to be that good. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be that good, because the WWE women have proven how capable they are. It was just really, really good. The first match, the Lyra and Becky and Bailey, who my wife refers to as Bayleaf, was just off the charts. I was like, wow, man, nothing's topping that tonight. And then Rhea and Io came along. But first, that three-way match, that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, Lyra is really leveling up these last few weeks. And last night her and Bailey had a 2 out of 3 last night too, Marv. They went straight. It was a television 2 out of 3 match, so it can only be so good, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't the same match, but it was good. But anytime you get any combination of those three in the ring together, you're going to get a good match. It's almost impossible.
I loved the finish when Bailey hits the finisher, and then I still don't know exactly how Becky floated over her the way she did into that backslide.
You forget how good Becky is.
That's the thing. I think because she's a main eventer, because she is, so well thought of in the company, you kind of immediately think that and because people have been like, oh, Becky, too much Becky, you forget that she's that good. Sorry, just to cut you off.
No, you're good. I liked on Raw last night, Becky came out wearing red and yellow because everyone was calling her Becky Hogan. So she just went all the way with it and said, screw it.
And she dropped racial slurs. Yeah, but I mean, like, you know who I felt really bad for that night was Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton, because they had a really good match, but it was sandwiched between like 2 match of the year candidates.
Yeah,
So nobody was talking about them at the end of the day.
and Stephanie Vaquer. Anyway, I've heard they pronounce it all over the place. Nikki Bella called her Stephanie Vaqua. So I don't want to hear it.
I'm so happy to be here. And Stephanie Lacroix, you're so awesome.
I almost married John Cena.
No, you didn't.
But I felt bad for her too, because that was a big moment for her last night, and I think it's going to be a big moment in the future. But it just overshadowed completely. It's a testament to how good Rhea and Io though was that people are still talking about that, because usually when there's a cash in at the end of the match, all the attention goes to the cash in.
Yeah,
but people are still talking about how good that match was despite the cash in. So
I feel like if I'm Naomi and I know that I have to cash in at the end of that match, and I'm sitting there watching that match, I'm like dreading the cash in at that point.
Oh,
Really?
no, dude.
No, you're loving it, because now you're the icing on the top of a great
I know, but it's just, or at least just being like, oh man, they're gonna poop all over this.
And her
and they
coming out,
didn't.
her coming out
No.
last night on fire and cutting that promo, it was awesome.
I am all about the Naomi right now. Like, I think that she is just at the top of her game. She's never been better.
Who would have ever guessed that Naomi, like a Funkadactyl from so many years ago, would be at this level? Like, we always saw her. She was world champion a few times. Yes, sure. But like, this is like on like that. Like, I'm a main eventer. I'm a superstar. And now you're just all going to see it. Like,
She's on that level.
yeah.
No, she was fantastic. The promo she got last night, she's just like, it feels like you're watching the real Naomi when Naomi actually gets angry. You know, she gets all into it, and get into it and stuff like that. It's such a better promo than what she used to do. How funny is it though that she won the WWE World Title before Mercedes Moné won the AEW World Title?
Yeah, but Mercedes also won 12 other belts.
I know, but she didn't win. She didn't win the AEW title, and Naomi's the champion of her company before.
Well, because
Mercedes
because they had to prove that she doesn't have creative control, because nobody in their right mind would ever believe that Mercedes Moné could ever lose a match voluntarily.
This being a tribalist.
What?
Well, no, I mean, look, everybody.
I'm happy for Naomi.
I think everyone kind of with the Naomi situation had this mentality the same way they had with Bayley when she got Bayley in trouble, that Mercedes like will always have a sidekick and she will always mean girl them, Regina George them into following whatever she says.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with tribalism. This has everything to do with how much I hate Mercedes. The fact that the woman that she brought down with her and almost destroyed her career in the process of throwing her hissy fit actually succeeded despite her. It makes me very
and she had the work.
I would say both of the women that she tried to bring down with her, being both Bayley and Naomi at different times in their lives, have both surpassed her by leaps and bounds.
I don't know about Bayley. I mean, yeah. In my opinion, yes. In my opinion,
yeah, they draw.
Yeah, they do. They do. Naomi, man, she went to TNA. She sharpened up. I mean, look, she was always going to come back because at the end of the day, she's part of the bloodline. Like, she's part of that family. So, like, there was always a way back in, I think, for when she wanted it. But yeah, man, I'm really happy for her. I think that she's definitely come a long way, and like you said, from Funkadactyl to world champion.
And like a meaningful world champion. Like I said, she won it before, but she kind of got lost in the sauce with the other superstars. Now it's just like they gave her pretty much damn near a year to develop this character. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going to say it. A year, because when she was in with Bianca Belair and Jade, she got to develop her character. She got to be more extroverted, like she was allowed to show her character a little bit more. Now she's really broke through. And also kudos to Jade Cargill, who's like I'm like, this is the Jade Cargill I knew we would see. Like, I don't know what happened in those 2 months that she was supposedly injured, but
Wait, hold on, that you knew we would see. Weren't you the one that was like, she's terrible, get her out of there?
No. I have been a fan of Jade Cargill since day one of AEW. I've always wanted her to succeed.
Awful's been simping for Jade Cargill since day one.
Day one. What are you looking at, Kev? What's up?
he's eyeing Dax down. And speaking of Jade,
for the digital bullshit that I'm being flying out your mouth.
Listen, I'm on record, Kev. I am on record. Whenever Jade Cargill was having an issue,
AEW, but you've been the Grim Reaper of her WWE career.
Oh yeah, because I was scared for her. I have been scared for her. I was just like, when Corey Graves said those lines like, a little too much time on Instagram, not enough time in the ring, and then like a couple weeks later, like she got supposedly work injured and all that. I was just like, uh-oh.
That was time to you guys said.
I know. I see now.
It takes longer to deprogram bad habits than it does to teach you to do it right the first time around. Like legit. If it takes you a month to figure something out, it's gonna take you 6 months to unlearn the dumb bastardry that puts you in the spot that you're in. Now,
take it like a baseball metaphor. Like if you learn how to swing a bat, like playing in the sandlot with your friends with no coaches, it's going to take you longer to learn how to actually bat when a coach tries to teach you than if you just learned it from scratch. Yeah. It's the same. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Awful always was worried that she should have spent time in NXT. That was what he was always saying when he was complaining about Jade. But speaking of overlooking things, their match was great yesterday on Sunday.
It was. Too. Yeah, it was, but again, it was, and I love the, and I know we got a super chat we got to get to in a second, but
okay.
I love the idea of when you have like the big hot feud and you seemingly blow it off, but then the heel that lost the match ends up winning the world title by the end of the night. It happened one other time, and that was Jericho and Shawn Michaels, and that is one of my favorite eras in wrestling. Because that was Jericho at his absolute best when he did the Shawn Michaels, throw you through the Geritron 5000 and injure your eye and then punch your wife. The feud. There was a whisper punching.
Power of Ike Turner.
but then they had their like blow-offy kind of match, and Jericho lost, and then won the Elimination Chamber later that night. I think replacing Punk. So it was it was a biggie. But we got a biggie super chat here from Regina Sharp for $50. Thank you so much. This is from Erica M. Okay, I have a question. Look at you, Regina Sharp, using your super chats to help other people. That's awesome.
I love our audience.
This is from Erica M. Okay, I have a question. Could a creative control clause be written to exclude title changes? Why was that never put in? The idea to me is, you own your character, but we own the belt. No, not from what I've seen, because creative control clauses are usually put in there because the talent wants to be able to mandate that they win a title. See Hogan, Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, it could. They could put it in there, but I don't think anyone would sign it.
What are some of the most infamous creative control clauses in the history of wrestling? Yeah, Hogan obviously is the big one, but I would say Kurt Angle in TNA was definitely one, because Kurt had the Hogan clause where it was like, it wasn't just that he had creative control over his own stuff, he had control over the entire show. Because I remember hearing, I don't remember if it was Sabin or if it was Austin Aries, but he went up to one of them and said that they're like dirty, and so they should be doing like a pig pen gimmick, and they were like really stressing out because Kurt had the power to make that happen. But thankfully, like didn't actually didn't look forward enough, didn't remember it well enough to actually do it. But
I was high when I said that.
People are asking about Austin in WWE. Austin never had creative control. I don't think. He just was like, I ain't doing it, so I'm going home.
Brett did.
If he had creative control, he never would have had to go home.
Yeah, but Brett did it where he had it
Brett
over
did.
his last few months in the company.
Which is, I think, the only time Vince ever gave someone creative control was Brett.
That we know of, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he knew he was going to fire him in 5 minutes.
Right.
What?
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett owned the company. That's not creative control. That's just I own the company, right? Like,
yeah, it's just
so really
that's like Bill Watts having creative control.
Yeah, it's really just you know, there were a few in TNA along the way. Hogan, like I said, Hogan wasn't part of creative in TNA. It wasn't creative control. It's that he was helping writing the show in TNA.
Now Punk confirmed that Moxley has creative control, right? Or does Moxley just hold Tony up?
No, Moxley does. Jericho does. A lot of people in AEW do. That's not
according to Tony Khan and people in AEW.
No, MJF said they do.
Mercedes said in one time that she has creative control. She said it. It came out of her mouth. And they're like, no, she doesn't.
Yeah. They did such a walk back, she lost the title.
Well, you know what? It's the company.
No, she didn't lose a title. She just didn't win a title.
Right. There you go.
Company's not doing well. They are, a social media and public zeitgeist laughing stock, and no one takes Tony seriously. So now we've got to try to undo and obfuscate some of the truths that are floating around out there. And the most important one is, how did you not know to not give wrestlers creative control after watching WCW implode?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. And so thank you, Regina Sharp, and thank you, Erica M, for that awesome question.
We got one!
I love that one. Because it usually just means we got a lot of money. And another one, Regina Sharp for another $50. As a point, Marvin, a lot of things come out of Mercedes' mouth. She is on record as a spitter. Oh my goodness.
Christ, what is she talking about?
Yeah, wow. You are that is some Tony Storm level outrageousness there, Regina.
I think she's talking about rap lyrics.
Okay.
She's a great. She spits on the mic.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's 100% what it is, right?
Well, they call a microphone. Well, we can't say that, I guess.
I just thought she liked hawking loogies. That's what I thought.
Yeah, of course. That's 100%.
Hawking to us.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
She's a camel.
Unsubstantiated fantasy! Lies! Lies! Lies!
I'm going to need to have that one ready. I need to have that one ready for when we're playing the Tony Khan clip later.
It's like my dad driving in a truck. Do you guys have that when you were driving around with like your dad or something, and they would have the biggest loogies they'd spit out the window while you were driving, and it never got in the car, and it was always right, never splat. I tried to do that as an adult, and it gets all over the side of my window, and then I have to clean it later. Yeah,
right back in your face.
Yeah.
We took a school trip to New York City when I was in like middle school, and we went to the top of the Empire State Building. And one guy in my class tried to spit off the Empire State Building, and they warned you, don't do that. Like, don't spit, don't throw anything off, because you could throw something off and it'll kill somebody. But he spit off the Empire State Building, and the spit literally turned around and flew back and hit him in the face. It was like the most amazing karma I've ever seen in my life.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, don't spit off the Empire State Building, dude. Alrighty. This is like, that thing where like you're gonna spit and Eric it's like, ew, no.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be the one to say ew, no, but
hey,
no.
Apollo knew what I was talking about. Okay, Kev knew what I was saying. Maybe it's because my dad smoked. Maybe other people's dads. Yeah, I didn't smoke. Maybe that's part of it.
Mm-hmm. So there was, regarding Evolution, there was a question about doing it again. And so Tripp said he sees the demand for a yearly Evolution event, but says that as the demand for women grows across the board, they shouldn't need their own show to get the spotlight. It gives a "we shall see." Now, I agree with that.
I'm so glad he said it.
Yeah,
so glad.
I don't think there's a need for an all women's show. I think that the women have proven that they can hang just as much as the men, and I don't think you need an all women's show, just like you didn't need an all men's show. I think that it's just they're all on the show. They're all part of the roster,
right?
And I think you have to basically earn your spot now. And you know, if something like Rhea and Io is a better match than, you know, LA Knight and somebody, then they should be on the show over them.
You know, I saw there were a lot of people complaining about how the first hour and a half of Raw or so were all women last night. And I got to tell you,
pigs.
I
check
didn't
your privilege.
I didn't notice it until I went on the internet and everyone told me that the first hour and a half of Raw was all women. Like it was a good flowing show. The matches were good. So I just didn't notice it. And I think that's the way it should be, is that if the show's good, if the people are good enough to be there, then it shouldn't be something that, you know, they didn't call it out. They didn't say like the first hour and a half of the show will be all, it's just every match except the main event was women. And, you know, I thought it was just fine. I didn't notice it at all until the show was over and somebody screamed it at me. So
I just don't think the women need their own show. It's just like, how many more shows do we need? Like at the end of the day,
I kind of disagree, because this isn't a knock on the new regime, the new era, but they have done a shit job of getting people on TV. They just do. It's like brand new shiny toy. I'm gonna tell my story. No, I'm done, and then they go away. Now, certainly they get way more use and more quality use than they get over in the in the shindy, the $1 billion shindy. But like, they are not doing a good job with leveraging all of their talent, and a lot of the 90% of the women on that roster are woefully underused. They're actually stealing life from people.
Well, it's actually that's only going to get worse, I think, Kev, because you have all these NXT ladies who are about to get called up.
Exactly. And yeah, I'll say, you're 100% correct, because there's a massive logjam, because there's a lot of girls who should have been called up by now. So it's he's gotta figure out how to make these shows move a little bit faster, how to get people on. And the main reason I say this is because when you go back to find, the roster wasn't as big, but the roster was still massive. If you just go back to 97 to 2000, they had a lot of people on that show, and everybody got on it, and it was only 2 hours and 15 minutes, and you felt exhausted because they got a lot in, but you pretty much saw everybody in the roster every week if they weren't injured. And we can only get like 20% of the roster over the course of fucking 6 hours of TV. That's not good.
They're down to 4 now. NXT, yeah, okay, NXT.
So do you then, Kev, think that the answer is to have more all women shows, or do you think that the answer is just to use your time better, or maybe make cuts to your roster? I
think they need not so much an all women's pay-per-view. I do think they need an all women's show. There is a space for it. Wow, Dave McClain has proved that people will watch a women's wrestling program. He's been milking the concept, since the early '80s, and we got a Netflix show out of it that he had nothing to do with somehow. So people will watch it, especially if it's a WWE program. You don't need all women shows like pay-per-views, but I think if you had an all women show, it would help get the girls who don't get time the reps they need to develop their characters and have better matches. But yes, first of all, you need to fire some writers, because the creative is more to blame for wrestlers not getting used than the wrestlers. The roster is entirely too bloated, and that's top to bottom, like up to and including what they're doing in the indies to try to save it, but it's entirely too bloated. So you got to let some people go. What was the other thing you said? Because it's kind of an all of the above answer.
Or do you need to release people from the roster?
Yeah, you got to release people. You got to make these writers a little bit scared. You gotta use the time you have a little bit better. They just gotta find a way to get to the point a hell of a lot faster and a hell of a lot better than what they have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the roster is immense at this point. There's a lot of roster bloat in both companies, I think. But once you start saying that, people get touchy about, oh, you want people to lose their jobs. It's like, no, it's just the realities of business, man. Like, you're not entitled to just sit around and collect a paycheck when you're not doing anything.
I think the biggest argument for the idea of women having their own show is that I think that there is a split in the audience too. I think if you looked at that Evolution crowd and you looked at the people who were heavily invested in Evolution Online, a lot of them are not the same people who are invested in what the average wrestling fan talks about. They're by creating its own brand and making its own show, they might actually be able to attract people who wouldn't normally watch because they're interested specifically because they're women. And the crowd might be a crowd that will annoy you, Marv, to be honest. But
I saw the intro video to Evolution, and I was like, they're trying to appeal to a crowd that will annoy me.
Yeah, and say what you will about how they didn't attract or they didn't get as many people in the crowd as they did for Saturday Night's Main Event, but 7,000 people is nothing to sneeze at either.
No, but it's
for a niche show.
Yeah, exactly.
With only 2 weeks of build.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing though with these all women shows. Up till now, like they've happened, and they just kind of haven't had that much of an impact. But this time, it was a really solid show. So I think that's kind of why people are talking about it now. But let's get to a couple super chats and then talk about another really, really long show. John Williams of 109 says, "That's not Teddy Long or Booker T. That's Tony Atlas."
Give me them tootsies.
BT23 for $5 says, "Wonder if TK would try to get Jean-Claude Van Damme, the star of Time Cop, to go to an AEW event like when Jean-Claude Van Damme did with Universal Soldier 2. I could see it. I mean, I'm sure he would fall over. He'd be so excited. Regina Star for 5 says, Dis says, "We'll get into that. Show never comes up again. I know, still early." We got into it, though, or whatever it was that we were. I don't know. Christopher Miller for $10 says, "The IWC told me All In was the GOAT pay-per-view ever. 9,999 stars. It changed all of wrestling forever, and Soy Boy, greatest hero ever. Why you lying to me, Marv? Dismonk, why do you lie? Bad, awful." There you go. I mean, I think Brian Zane of Wrestling Regret made it the first ever like A+ pay-per-view grade, which I'm just like, simp harder for the man that fired you. Why don't you? Like, but I mean, like, look, and here's the thing: of the AEW pay-per-views that we have watched, it was the best one. There were moments where I actually was like, "Hey, that was good. I enjoyed that. I was entertained by that." It was just too god awfully long.
Yes. Bit of advice for those who did watch All In and hated it. Watch it again, but this time just watch the matches. You can fast forward, rewind, whatever you want to do. But watch them in different segments. Because when you watch the show, and I was telling Marv this before the show, when you watch the show live, yeah, it's a sludge to get through. But I actually saw some of the specifically the Mercedes Moné Tony Storm match. I was impressed, gentlemen. I liked the match when it wasn't involved with everything else in the show. Same thing with Moxley and Hangman.
But you liked Moxley and Hangman?
No. But I saw that a lot of people were into that match. When you guys were watching it live, when I was watching it, I had it on mute. I was doing other things, so I couldn't really gauge the crowd. But when I watched it again, the crowd is extremely into both matches, the Tony Storm match and the Moxley match, despite all the nonsense that was going on in it. I can kind of see where Tony Khan is just like, if it works for them, we're just going to keep on going with it. It's a dumb business move to make, but it seems to be working, at least for All In's sake. I mean, it wasn't a bad show when you watch it again and you don't put it all together. Don't watch it all together. because you'll be there all day. But just watch a match or two throughout the course of the day, and you'll see like how much different it is as far as like in context to the bigger show.
If you are, so I guess so. Like, let's say you're a normie, right, and you're deciding to get into wrestling.
Mhm.
Is this a show? Like, does it have replay value?
No. Great question.
I'm gonna watch it again, and it's like, no, it's just you had to experience it live and move on with your life.
Yeah, and because I don't have a great investment in any of the characters on AEW, so I personally wouldn't rewatch it. I can't imagine who would want to rewatch the main event. That was the one sticking point, like to the whole. It's just like, what DVD do you put this on? What streaming service do you put this match on as a standalone?
It made Cody and Roman look underbooked.
Yeah.
With all the run-ins. I mean, what do we count? 10 run-ins? One of which is the return of Bryan Danielson that no one remembers happened.
Yeah, right. Listen, All In got stomped out over the weekend as far as like reach and visibility. I mean, WWE surrounded the wagons with their 3 pay-per-views, and no one's talking about All In. Yeah,
between NXT and Evolve and AAA, I think they're going to counter program every AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, it might be that season.
And yeah, Regina Sharp for 5 says, Naomi cashing in retrospect explains why they seem to be so careful and slow for her no holds barred match with Jade. Yeah, like they didn't put her in a car wreck so that it would be believable that she can come out later. Yeah, I agree. Though I will say, guys, that how we talk about like they're trying to advertise every square inch of space. The moment where I was like, okay, we've gone too far, was when they pulled the tables out for the table spots and they had the Slim Jim logos on them.
Yeah,
they've been doing that for 2 months, Marv.
That was the first time I noticed it, and I was like, my God.
When they were in, where'd they go last overseas? Where was the last place they went? Saudi Arabia. When they were in Saudi Arabia, Rhea even said, like, I'm going to put you through one of the Slim Jim tables.
Oh, Jesus. Right, because we didn't go live during that one.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was when I was moving. Or something. I was doing something. I think I was moving. CWJ 128 for $2 says, is WWE better off that Monet did not resign? Yes.
Yeah. She belongs in AEW. She doesn't belong in WWE.
She would be miserable in WWE because there's so much competition there right now, and she wouldn't be the main thing doing whatever she wants to do. Forever Runner for $1.99 says, don't dare disrespect our Storm Goddess diss.
What did I say? I didn't say anything about you.
Diss, your reign of hatred over Jade Cargill has come to an end. People are tired of it.
By the way,
Mr. Negativity.
we get it. We get it. Don't like strong black women. We understand.
It's our most precious resource.
Yes, indeed.
I love when you call them that. Wolfchild for $9.99 says, love the sicko saying, yeah, Evolution was good, but it didn't take the focus from All In. While I'm saying, and what are people talking about Monday, Tuesday? Exactly. Welcome back, Marv and Kev. Hello, Wolfchild. Good to see you. John Williams for $4.99 says, I never used it. Russo in the quarter lion, bro. Oh, I never used it. Russo in the quarter lion, brother. And he says, female China more than earned her spot. And Mr. Jamie Jam for $1.99 says, Zane's a bigger soy boy than the soy boy cowboy. I've never met Brian Zane. He might be a lovely human being. I've seen him turn on all of his people the second that somebody gets potential canceled or something like that. So I don't know, man. I used to enjoy his channel, and then it started being just nonstop AEW glomming. So
yeah.
After that, I mean, good for him. He's got his audience, and he makes a living. So God forbid anyone not make a living. So people like it. That's great. Not for me.
Shout out Brian Zane.
I guess. Yeah, right. Okay, so I mean, is there anything more you think we can? I think we just kind of touched on All In, right? Like we don't really have to go too deep into it, right?
Can I say they did that's what I meant to say.
You may not.
They did the one they did the one thing that it's taken them forever to do, and that's progress the storylines. Listen, I was shocked when Monet lost. Shocked, I tell you. I was also shocked when Hangman Adam Page won. So they are trying to do some things that are new, I guess. So I'm not saying I'm willing to give it a shot, but it was All In, despite its low visibility right now, did what it was supposed to do, and that was progress some storylines. It got the EVPs, got the Young Bucks, losing their EVP status. For all the knuckleheads online, that's a plus for them. So, we'll see what happens this Wednesday. I don't anticipate. Now, listen, if they get 800,000, 900,000 this week, which I doubt, we'll see. We'll see. But it was the right move.
A Double A for $50 checking in. Thank you so much, Double A. Says AEW All In had HLA, blood, fork stabbing, barbed wire, no cells, more blood, nail covered boards. But the only person that has people talking about them is one Nick LaPiccolo.
Yep, we'll get into that.
That is true. We will get into that. So those of you asking who Nick LaPiccolo is, we will discuss a little later on. Okay, so speaking of like hate and internet hate, this is an interesting thing. So this is a list of the most hated wrestlers in the world.
What?
And it is, yeah. So from a sample size of 35,000 social media posts for each of them, it takes the percentage of negative mentions and makes this list to rate them from 1 to I guess 15.
The big headline.
There's a 3-way tie for number 15.
Right.
The big headline was that this was supposed to show the amount of abuse and harassment athletes receive. That was the whole article. But then if you read their methodology, they just said if the comment was negative. So any negative comment they perceive as abuse and harassment. And Charlotte Flair right there, number one.
Charlotte Flair at 36.4% of, that's all awful. Most of that is awful.
Yes, you're right. She was awful. Did you watch? Who watched SmackDown? I know nobody watched SmackDown. Did anybody watch SmackDown? Okay.
I was really irritated by the outcome of a certain match.
Okay. Did you see the goofy Charlotte Alexa segment where Charlotte did that?
A terrible cheerleader.
Yeah.
Chirp myself. Yeah.
I'm always cheering for myself. Like it's she's trying very, very hard. Like you can tell she did not like that she did not get cheered when she came back because she is ultra babyface now. She is doing everything she can to get it. And
she should be pissed off though. They botched it.
They what?
They botched her return. Something awful.
She should have come back as a face in the first place, or as a heel in the first place. People were not going to cheer Charlotte Flair when she came back.
But I'm saying, like, they wanted her to come back as babyface, and they botched it. They didn't do anything that would have made her babyface.
But I don't know that they did. And this thing is like, I think Charlotte wanted to come back because now have you been following the stuff about Charlotte since then, where she keeps going in every interview talking about how it hurt her feelings that she was booed, how she is going around saying that she, like the whole thing about her wanting respect is real. She thinks that she's good enough that she should just get the fans to cheer for her because she's there. Like I think it doesn't seem like Charlotte was going to come back and work as a heel regardless. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me. It didn't seem like Charlotte was too into the idea of being a heel. And it was more of okay, fine, we'll make you a face. Let's see what happens because they knew she was going to get booed. And Charlotte is just a better heel. It's not so much that she's a terrible face. It's just people do want to see her. But they want to see her as a heel. They don't want to see her as a face, in my opinion.
Couldn't they have also brought Charlotte back? Because if I remember correctly, when she was doing this supposed face turn, she walked down to the ring and cut a promo. Why didn't she save somebody? Like, why didn't she come back and do a heroic thing before talking about, trying to be a hero?
The vignettes were making her look like a heel. Like her
Absolutely.
return vignettes
Yeah,
were making
okay.
her look like a heel.
Yeah.
So
Like yeah, she went out super injured, almost career ending, and
there you go.
we learned the lesson almost 20 years earlier with Triple H. You got to show them struggling to work out. You have to show the pictures of the surgery.
Yeah.
And then you have them, kind of wondering if they'll ever be the same again. So that you kind of have a little bit. Baby faces need sympathy. She came back the least sympathetic person on the planet.
Right.
Talking about being rich, talking about enjoying being a nepo baby. Like people don't want to hear that crap.
Right.
That's the one I was looking for. I thought since we were saying it and he said it too, I wanted to post up there that Tyler Golanowski said they had vignettes that said she was a heel, but she was expecting a Triple H return in 2002, and I think that might have been a part of it. I don't know. It's weird. It just didn't hit. It just didn't hit like it was supposed to. Regardless of whose fault it was, it could have been Triple H. It could have been her. It could have been Tiffany, for all we know. Maybe Tiffany wasn't working it the right way.
There was some politics involved in that one too, though, because she did feel like she had been labeled a Vince girl, even though Hunter brought her in, and she was being forced out to pasture. Which, in hindsight, I don't disagree. It kind of does look like she was taken down a peg, but at the same time, you don't even realize it, but those girls have all been around for 10 years. Usually the 10-year mark is when it's time to start making some space for some other people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's interesting. But I mean, look, right below her, Nia Jax, number 2. Number 3, Mercedes Moné. Number 4, Saraya. Number 5, Tegan Knox.
Who?
Rhea and Tegan Knox?
Like, come on now.
What?
I don't know.
Saraya is still getting okay. Those are the weirdo diva fans who still get on Saraya about the video, or the one they don't like Tegan Knox because she doesn't interact with her fans. Like they want, it's the women's wrestling fans that are like the simps or whatever you want to call them, the ones that are too into it.
They're mad because they don't love you back.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's why most of these are women. Because I will stand by the fact that most wrestling fans that I know don't hound women and talk about them negatively online. Like we don't like Mercedes, but we also don't like John Moxley, and we also, it's like there's a group of them that are just focused on the women, and that's why I said it'd almost be better if they got their own show, and that way it would just be separate. We wouldn't have to deal with them anymore.
Number 6 is CM Punk. So, yeah. Number 7, Chris Jericho. Number 8, Cara Jade. Number 9, the Young Bucks. I'm honestly shocked they're that low, but then again, maybe it's that people aren't tweeting about them as much. Number 10, Jade Cargill. Number 11, John Moxley. Number 12, Alexa Bliss. 13, Britt Baker. 14, Will Ospreay. And a 3-way tie at 15 for Ricochet, Natalya, and Nikki Bella. Who's tweeting negatively about Natalya? Who's tweeting about Natalya at all?
It's the same people. We never see it because they're not in our algorithm because it's a whole different world, Marv.
Tegan Knox is more hated than Chris Jericho, than the Young Bucks.
Yeah,
than John Moxley.
Okay,
than Ricochet.
To be fair, though, Young Bucks and Chris Jericho weren't on TV for a good portion of this time, so it's also just people not talking about them at all.
I like how we're giving this damn stupid sample size some legs and validity out here.
No, that's what my whole point of bringing it up was to make fun of it. It is ridiculous. The fact that they're saying, like, Nia Jax, she gets heel heat. So of course people are going to talk negative. If you're a heel, you should be mad that you're not on this list because you should want people to be talking negative about you online, right?
Regina Sharp for $50 says, if what Dis said about the methodology is correct, things like I hate her matches would be considered negative. So It's not all just like abuse. It's not all just like telling them to, go do horrible things. A lot of it could just be like, yeah, I didn't like that match.
Right. It's just they sold it as a abuse and harassment list. And it's insane that they're calling it that. Because do you think the Bucks get abused and harassed, Marv?
I don't know. Maybe.
What do you consider abuse and harassment then?
I don't know. People say really dumb things to people. I mean, look at what we get abused and harassed, and we don't get a 100th of what these guys
Right.
get.
We're not on national television.
Right, exactly. We are pretty big in Japan.
Yes, indeed. Japan Ichiban.
Konnichiwa to our Japanese listeners. But yeah. All right. I just thought that would be fun to go through and or just thought it would be. That's why he pulled it. So let's see. Hold on. Do we have any other super chats that have come in? Let's see. We got to this Mr. Jamie Jam one, right, about Zane? I think so, yeah. 1KQ for $5 New Zealand dollars. Says, have not been watching much lately, but good to see Kev back. Yeah, I remember when that Brian Zane guy was pretending to be Jim Cornette's son. Well, yeah, Jim Cornette played into it, too. No, that was like a thing, because he looks enough like Jim Cornette.
Oh,
and so, like, Cornette used to call him his son.
Oh, I was going to get real creeped out.
Yeah, no, like, because he was a manager. He kind of looked like Jim Cornette, and so Cornette played into it. Because, you know, he was a big YouTuber at the time. And then Zayn started, like, simping for the AEW stuff. And, like, not just... it wasn't just that he was, like, glorifying it. It was that he was pushing back on anyone who said anything negative about it. One of those was Jim Cornette. And he went at Cornette about something he said about AEW. And then Cornette blocked him. And then Zayn lost his damn mind and made a 10-minute video about the fact that Jim Cornette blocked him.
Hey, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. BT23 for $2 says, wonder what forbidden door Tony Khan is going to open. I mean, usually it's Japan, right?
Well, he had the first year. Okay, so the first year was New Japan, and then they did AAA, and then they did CMLL, but they're out. So I don't know. I guess now it's just gonna be all of them. I guess. Oh,
not
no,
AAA.
They're going to England. So I bet they'll use like Rev Pro guys and stuff like that. I bet that's the quote unquote forbidden door.
That'll be great.
Those worldwide superstars, get out of here.
No, in the UK, it's actually called the frowned upon entryway. But all right. So Goldberg had his big last match, and honestly, I think that people don't give Gunther nearly enough credit because he carried that guy to the and Grega for 222, by the way, says hola amigos. Hello to you as well.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
And then so Gunther carried Bill Goldberg to the best match that he has had since Diamond Dallas Page at Halloween Havoc 1998.
Yep. I would agree.
It was just really good. It was a good match. It went for a long period of time. And I was like, wow. I mean, look, if you guys listen to the live stream, you know that the biggest mark out of the night that I had, of all 8 hours of the stream, had nothing to do with a wrestler. It was when Doug Dillinger popped up on the TV.
Oh God!
and then when I said it's Doug Dillinger's got to be the one to knock on Goldberg's door for his last match, and it was, I marked out again. So he was walked to the ring by Doug Dillinger, his son, the cat, and like three dudes who I had no idea who they were. Kev, did you know who they were?
Yes, I
Chuck
don't know
Zito,
who it
wasn't
was. I didn't watch it like 2 days ago.
Burnett, the MMA guy, Burnett. What's his name? Kev, do you know something Burnett? Mark Burnett, or no? He's the Survivor guy.
Yeah.
One of those. There's
Josh Barnett.
Yeah, Josh Barnett. Yeah, he was there.
My boy. Oh yeah, it's Jim Barnett.
Well, that's Jim Barnett, and that's a whole horse of a different color.
Oh, Bell.
Several
My
colors,
God.
if you ask me.
Dear boy.
Oh my God.
How about
The
a
colors of the
shoulder?
rainbow.
How about a shoulder rub there, big guy?
But
yes, but Doug Dillinger being there was huge. So all in all, it went very, very well. No one could possibly be upset about it, right? Well, Goldberg is.
Can I ask and perhaps shoot straight with you, Bill? It feels like you're battling like mixed emotions here about everything. That it's something that you're not quite sure how to feel about in the immediate aftermath. Is that accurate?
Let's just say I'm pissed off at the way I went out. You know, I mean, because it was.
You are lucky that you got this match.
Dude, Jesus, understand what he's saying. He doesn't mean it like that.
All right. How does it? Okay, well, I've not seen this tripe, so I can't wait to see what old Bill Goldberg is going to say. How's he going to walk? How's he going to walk back that first statement?
I put so much into it, and I don't feel as though the effort was reciprocated to put a stamp on, what I accomplished. I'm.
Come on, man. That's what a Hall of Fame induction is for. Like, you want to talk about people's careers going out with, on
a low note? Yeah.
Bret Hart. like not for me to defend Bret, but like, come on, man. Like,
I know. Do you realize that kick took from us Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Don't please.
Because Bret would have 100% been in TNA. 100% been in TNA, and we would have gotten Bret and Kurt. We would have gotten Bret and AJ. We would have gotten Bret and Joe. Like, we would have gotten a slew of Bret matches. So,
and TNA would have gotten a lot bigger because of it. So, like, TNA would have started off with Bret Hart. Like, come on, man, it would have been so much better.
Or it wouldn't have made a difference, which is what I think would have been the case. Because, Bret Hart never drew money. But
right.
Bret paid the bill.
I'm not.
He paid the bill, yes. For WWE, not for WCW. Sorry, let's see what Goldberg has to say.
Again, I'm not going to say that I'm not ecstatic about the opportunity that I got, but I was a WCW guy, man. I was.
I'm not going to say that I'm not ecstatic about the opportunity that I got, but I'm not happy.
Okay, I want you to watch the rest of this interview with this in mind. I think that he is like, I could probably get another payday out of it.
It sounds like he's saying he wants another last match. Like, what are you, Ric Flair?
Yeah, and talking about the whole WCW guy, I think he might be like, let's see how much Tony will give me. Why not? Let's see what happens.
I would say Sting had a worse time of it in WWE than Goldberg did.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned in this interview something about 2 weeks. He said like it'll take another 2 weeks before I can really get into it or whatever. Is that when his contract is up or something, or what?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. Isn't his contract up?
I think he signed something short term for this. I think that was the deal, yeah.
Because originally he was promised an actual last match, and then when Vince left, Hunter let the contract expire, and he was like, "Yo, you guys lied to me. What the F is this?" And then he was, he rightfully pissed off. So I think that's why this got thrown together. But I don't disagree though. This should not have happened on a Saturday night's main event. Frankly, this Saturday night's main event and Evolution. We need to be honest about what this was. This was a glorified commercial for the 2-night SummerSlam. They're having a hard time filling up. So you took Goldberg's last match and you threw in some bullshit free TV thing. I'd be a little pissed off too.
I feel like they're trying to push Saturday night's main event as if it's a big deal now, though.
Yeah, but it's not. We all know.
Also, let's not pretend that Goldberg and Triple H ever got along with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Triple H is like, with Sabre's like, oh, I love Bill Goldberg. No, you don't. Stop it.
He loves him now because it's not a threat.
I mean, well, like I said, they've never gotten along. And look, Marv, I know that you're a big fan. I don't care at all about Goldberg. Like, there's no, I didn't like him when I was 14 years old watching him. I don't like him now. I just never
What?
did.
Wait, you have a different subjective opinion than me? I'm going to hate you forever and destroy your life.
So I guess it's hard for me to speak on it. It's hard for me to speak on it because from my point of view, although I do agree with you, I kind of think like, yeah, you know what? That moment is for when you go to the Hall of Fame, right? Your last match, like that's kind of what my initial thought was. And that was just, but I thought mine was colored by the fact that I don't like Goldberg at all. I wasn't.
Yes, his little speech at the end got cut off. Nobody gets his speech. No, you get your speech at the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Nobody, like, when The Undertaker had his last match, he didn't give a speech. When Shawn got retired, he didn't give a speech. When Flair got retired, he didn't give a speech after the match. He did a speech the next night on Raw, but he did not give a speech after the match.
Edge got a speech. They did a whole bug and pony and horse shit show for Edge.
The next night,
That's Edge. That's Edge. They let Edge retire with the belt, which for some reason they rolled out the red carpet for Edge when he retired. Like, Edge got what no one else gets.
No, I mean, like, when he left this time. Not my neck hurts, Edge. Like, my contract ran out and Triple H isn't gonna put the belt to me and offer me and not anywhere near enough money for me to want to stay. Edge. Like, we had a whole countdown, and then he had his last match, and then it ended. He lost. We got 9 billion hours of fireworks. Everybody came down. He got to say goodbye, Toronto, and then they hugged him and faded to black.
Yeah, but it was also on SmackDown, which you just said that since it was on Saturday Night's Main Event, it wasn't big, but that was on SmackDown. So, I mean, you know, I don't think Edge is as big as Goldberg, so I think Goldberg deserved a little bit better, but it doesn't, I don't know. Again, my entire opinion is colored because I don't like Goldberg, so I can't. And honestly, I don't like Edge anymore either. So.
Well, because we learned that Edge was a product of the machine.
I don't like, yeah. Well, the big thing that didn't make me like Edge was when I found out how soft he was. When he started blocking everybody and being all weird, and you know, that was just like, come on, dude, you're Edge, man.
Once you, the way to really like Kurt Angle continued to excel apart from the machine, and raised TNA up for a bit. Jeff Hardy did not. Jeff Hardy plummeted to obscurity apart from the machine. Edge plummeted to obscurity. So that's when you really start to see who the talents are.
Yeah, Christian did well.
You're being a little unfair to Jeff, because it was a big deal when Jeff jumped the first time, and then the second time Jeff was horribly addicted to drugs, so you weren't going to get anything out of it.
And what about AEW, Jeff?
Oh, AEW doesn't count.
No, AEW doesn't count.
We need to be honest. Yeah, I mean this. John Cena can pop up on AEW tomorrow, and it'll be a one-night ratings bump. AEW does not draw because AEW is not taken seriously, and it does not appeal to a mass audience. That's why AEW will always fail. It's not Edge's fault that no one's paying attention. It's all about the presentation of the show and how the show is managed. The WWE is a machine because it built the machine to maximize people's appearances, and they know how to make a D-lister look like an A-lister within 2 or 3 weeks. AEW takes an A-lister and turns him into a D-lister, turns him into a has-been. Now that's the big difference. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's really a big difference. It doesn't matter who you put on that shit show. Within a week or two, it'll be back to being business as usual.
Do you get them? Do you get him for an AEW show once his 2 weeks or 1 month, or whenever Goldberg's contract is up with the WWE?
What would you
do? You?
Oh, Tony wants him. Tony has wanted him since the beginning. But then Goldberg said that thing about AEW. Didn't he make a comment about AEW being the minor leagues or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Goldberg realized that he could not do a match in AEW and then come back and do another last match in WWE, but he can do a last match in WWE and then go and do another one in AEW. And Goldberg is always, and I respect this about him, Goldberg has always gone where the money was. If TNA would have offered him more than WWE, he would have gone to TNA. He would. It was never about. Besides WCW, he never had a home team or somewhere that he needed to be. So I think that it was a good play. You go because he could have said whatever he wanted to about AEW, but if he came out after his last match in WWE and said, you know what, I wasn't very happy, he'd get a multi-million-dollar offer by Tony to come there and do it at 100%.
Can we all agree though? The greatest Bill Goldberg match of all time is the triple threat with Kevin Nash and Bam Bam Bigelow, because I think it's one of the first triple threats he's ever in. And he's so confused by the presence of a third man in the ring. And the match is just a train wreck.
Oh, God.
they go to like double shoot him off, and he bends backward too much, and he ends up putting his head under the bottom rope, and then like they go to shoot him off, and his head gets like caught on the top rope.
Mm.
I meant top rope, not bottom rope. Anyway, let's see what else Bill has to say.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it could be done. Could have been done a little bit differently. That's all. And I'm happy with my performance. I'm happy with, the setting. But could it have been better? Absolutely. It can always be better.
And I know you mentioned this 2-week thing, but I'd be remiss if I don't ask, what specifically could have been done differently? Could you tell us that?
Well, there's about 100 things. I mean,
this guy.
I did 3 interviews
Ungrateful.
beforehand.
What does he want the entire show to be built around him?
No,
Like-
but he wanted a longer build up. It was very lazily done. I do think this is all very, very lazy, and that's my biggest complaint about the majority of what's been happening in the WWE. A lot of this has been very lazy. They are skirting by on virtue of the fact that AEW is so bad, but by comparison, that they don't have to put in too much effort. And if you watch NXT, the difference in NXT versus Raw and SmackDown, it stings a little bit more because NXT runs at such a different pace and has such different energy and has way better storytelling.
But were we just like, we were just talking about the fact that there's such limited room on these shows. How much TV time were they going to dedicate to this guy who hasn't been on top of the business in how long and is going to be gone after one match? I don't think they should have dedicated a whole ton of TV time to him.
It doesn't, no, but it needed more time.
And also,
the segments could have been 10 minutes what they were, but he is a special attraction. He was a box office draw. And guess what? I'll say it too. Vince would have done this better.
first off, Goldberg has never, ever, ever delivered for WWE. Ever.
What are you talking about? Goldberg, when the first time around, yes, Shriner was a disaster. But the second time, him and Brock had magnificent matches. Everybody was super excited about it. Like Goldberg's old man Goldberg's run under Vince was terrific. Even the weird Bobby Lashley feud was over and drew for them.
It was okay. I mean, okay. I just disagree. If it drew, though, it's not like WWE was not setting the world on fire at that time period. They weren't, I mean, you look at what it is
people were
now
talking
or
about
what it was
they were excited
before.
about.
I don't. Okay.
The only thing I remember about that was I was in my glory when Goldberg beat Brock because it made the internet explode. And I just really enjoyed like reveling in their tears. But I mean, I liked the 5-minute Goldberg matches that he had during that time period. I enjoyed watching people freak out when he beat Kevin Owens, but it was, it was definitely a unique run. I can definitely say that, but let's see what else Bill had to say.
Ariel, I did 3, right? In 6 months, it's just, they cut me off 30 seconds into my speech, bro. I mean,
Yeah, but you're going to get a 30-minute speech at the Hall of Fame because you're probably going to head up the next Hall of Fame class.
He's already in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
Is
he's
he?
in.
He's already in the Hall of Fame for years.
Oh, well, then he already did that. Is
He?
he? What year did he go? Hold on. Is Goldberg in the WWE Hall of Fame?
I'm going to say class of 2021.
Yes, Goldberg is in the class of 2018. Okay.
2018. Holy
So
shit.
you had your speech already.
And it was a hard out on NBC. NBC, it's like WWE can't be like, no, don't run the next show. Goldberg has to finish talk. Like that's not gonna. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It's NBC. You're out.
But like, I don't understand why you'd give him the speech at the end of the match and not
understand.
let him just come into Raw the next night and give him 5 to 10 minutes.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Didn't they put the whole speech on YouTube? And
They did, and they played it. I mean, they edited out the silence, but they played it all on Raw too. So
there is a theory that actually what happened was Bret Hart was backstage and pulled the plug on the feed. I've commandeered this feed. I think I saw. I don't know if it was real or not because I didn't click on it, but it was like Bret Hart said that like like they actually let it go for too long, he would have cut it off before the match ever happened or something like that.
Oh God.
Bill Goldberg.
I interrupt this show to take time away from my cookout to tell you that Bill Goldberg is a low down, dirty piece of crap.
I love how Shawn just gets a pass now because he hates Goldberg so much.
Well, because they hugged and made up.
Yeah. Though I do love that Goldberg hit his breaking point with Brett, where he was just like, dude, I am not apologizing for this again. Like, I've apologized so many times over the years. Like, it's not happening again.
You don't do that. But, it's all good. It's all good.
Do you think that was their call or the network's call?
I think it doesn't matter because it's live television and you can plan for it. That's all. That's all.
Okay, I'm sorry, though.
Yeah, dude.
Seth Rollins' match going like 5 minutes long because he got hurt and you ran out of time. Like, something happened at this point.
Or, dude, Triple H doesn't like Goldberg.
I really doubt that Triple H was like, my plan, my beautiful plan.
I don't think it was like that. I just don't think he cared. I think he goes, okay, he probably said, make sure Goldberg's speech has all the important stuff at the front because we're probably going to get cut off. I don't think he prioritized for it. I don't think he's going to take time away from a storyline that's going to affect the show going forward to give Goldberg a moment to, I think that he prioritized the stuff that the people that are going to be there tomorrow. Right.
Imagine like tripping like 2003, the first time he wrestles Goldberg, and Vince is like, well, pal, we're putting Bill over tonight. I'm now formulating a plan that culminates in me pulling the plug on his retirement speech in 23 years.
But the whole situation was weird because he had his retirement match in his original contract. He didn't get the retirement match for one reason or another, whether it be what year was that 2022 that he was supposed to get the original retirement match? Was that when his contract was up?
I guess
it ended in the post Vince is gone era.
Right. So he basically last year said, you owe me a retirement. He publicly kind of said they owe me a retirement match. I mean, he basically said that.
Yeah, he rightfully called them out.
Yeah, and he's right. He was in his contract. I'm sure, but like I said, the current regime didn't. It's a weird situation because the current regime didn't give him the contract. They should have held up to it though, and they didn't. And now they are doing something they obviously weren't wanting to do. And it's Goldberg's doing it at a time later than he wanted to do it. Honestly, I think Goldberg's last match probably shouldn't have been in WWE. I think Goldberg's last match should have been an event on its own somewhere in a big, because Goldberg can attract.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. You're watching Goldberg's last match.
But that's the only way it was going to get the kind of attention that he wanted. Because in AEW, they botch it. In WWE, they don't care enough. He should have just found somebody who do it. I bet the Prince of Saudi would pay him a lot of money to come there and do it there. Like,
but also, not for nothing. Is Goldberg playing nice with the WWE with all of this because he's trying to get his son a job? Because I've been hearing that his son wants to be a wrestler.
I don't
think that'll happen anyway. His last name's Goldberg. The kid's got decent size. He's got, hopefully he grows a little bit more. And they like legacy. And honestly, anybody with half a brain knows they don't want to slum it in AEW because
look at Breaker. It's not like Triple H or the WWE were on the best on the best of terms with the Steiner brothers, but now Breaker's being pushed to the moon, and they got another Steiner coming up in NIL. So, they're not. I don't think the kids have to pay for the sins of their fathers, or you have to deal with what WWE thinks of their parents at all. Personally,
right?
I think Bill Goldberg has still not matured as a professional wrestler. When you start talking like this on the Ariel Helwani show, listen, bro, you were on NBC, network television. I'm sure they did you dirty with the contract a little bit, but you don't answer in this way where you say something like that and then you try to walk it back, and then you go back to being like, I have boo-boo job face. It's the same shit that Kevin Nash used to talk about in the shoot interviews, Scott Hall, all these guys who were talking some things about Goldberg. One of the things was, like, he was always pouty. And still to this day, this man is pouty. Like, okay, dude, you can't get it your way all the time. And that's what it comes off to me.
Yeah, I mean, I say they did him dirty. It was a bullshit, lazy feud. We only took the belt off of Jey Uso so that you had a little more spice to try to mask that this was a bullshit, lazy feud. And 3 promos in 6 months is bullshit.
Do you think he was outspoken about it, though?
On a throwaway event, because the Saturday Night's Main Event was a throwaway event.
I don't.
Let's see what else.
So, and I know it is what it is, and the match might have gone long, and this and that, and whatever it is. But I just think that it could have been it could have been a little classier prepared than it was. And I'll just say, and that's a mild understatement.
See, he can't.
Man, come on.
Listen,
He wanted the Goldberg.
By the way,
show.
did they know?
Yeah, like, what is this man expecting? The
Why
machine has
didn't
still
it-
got to go on.
Because this match should have happened on SummerSlam.
Yeah, why didn't it? That's a good
Exactly.
unless they're planning. Unless instead of Cody Cena, they're going to throw us a curveball and do Cody Gunther.
I'll tell you why. Here's my opinion why it didn't happen on SummerSlam. Because you already have. It's probably going to end up being CM Punk versus Gunther. It's going to end up being Cody versus Cena. You already have your 2-night main event. If you put Goldberg in there, you have to find something else to do with CM Punk. You're pushing somebody who you don't know can give you a good match. Goldberg is not the last few Goldberg matches. Say what you want about his old man Goldberg run with Vince. His last few matches have been miserable.
Well, he almost
And
killed
you
the
wanna-
Undertaker.
And you want to put him in the main event against one of your top guys of your second biggest show of the year.
You can't hold getting a concussion against somebody. And
You can hold giving yourself a concussion against somebody.
Yeah.
and honestly, who was watching Goldberg for the cinema? Goldberg is fast food crash TV. He's not Gone with the Wind. He's not Citizen Kane. No one's watching Goldberg matches for that.
Yeah, but putting Goldberg in a main event at SummerSlam is a waste. You have him for one night,
and it's a
It should
risk.
be- yeah, and it should be a guy that's one of your guys. That's going to be the.
How is I don't know, using any legend who's semi-retired or retired?
You
coming back
shouldn't.
to the
They
ring?
don't put him in the main event of SummerSlam. They don't.
Yeah,
do that.
that's like saying Stone Cold Steve Austin was a waste. So it was a waste when Stone Cold wrestled Kevin Owens in the main event of a WrestleMania?
No, because Stone Cold Steve Austin was not wrestling for the world title.
In the main, he was it the main event?
It was
the
main
last
event
match.
Main event of,
Night
it was the
one.
last match of
Okay.
night one.
Okay.
Night one. Yes.
Night one. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, for some
Main
reason, I
event.
came out not thinking it was
The
a
main event.
Yes, but in WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin is a different animal than Bill Goldberg. And I love Goldberg. Don't get me wrong. But
I
you
get it.
cannot compare the marquee name value between the two. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin in Texas at WrestleMania, one of the 3 biggest stars in the history of wrestling.
And didn't Austin
and it's
go over?
not for a title. And
Yeah,
Austin went
Austin
over. Yeah, Austin went over.
So he didn't really bump very much either in that match. It's not like he was like he had, unless you're going to put Goldberg against somebody you don't care about, and at that point it can't be a main event, and then at that point he'd be angry about it anyway.
Exactly.
What are you going to do? It's a match they didn't want to do. They did it. They gave him the time. They gave him. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I get it.
It's
If you're-
either because it's simple. You either do it or you don't. You don't half-ass it. And
But
they
I'm
half-ass
sure-
it, and that's what the problem is. And again, I'll say this is something that Vince would have never done. Vince would have either said, "Sorry, pal, it's not going to happen," or you do it right. You can't half-ass things like this. It doesn't matter if you don't like the guy. It doesn't matter if you don't think he was a draw. The fact of the matter is a 98 and 99, the motherfucker was printing money like he was fucking Tony and Sosa watching the money flow in Scarface. It is what it is. You got to put respect on the dude's name. They dropped the ball on this. It was lazy. It was fucking lazy.
I'm also sure that NBC wanted something big for the main event of Saturday night's main event. I think this makes sense where they put it. But I agree with you. They could have built it more. But I think NBC would have, yeah, we need something big as a draw for this show because we wanted to pop a rating. So okay, well, we'll give you Gunther.
I go back to the thing where if you build it more, what do you do? Are you going to take 6 months out of Gunther's career to build a match with Bill Goldberg? And then
what has Gunther been doing?
He was the world champion for 3 of those months, and he had a match at WrestleMania.
He beat Pat McAfee, and then he kind of just been hanging out.
No, it's since WrestleMania, but I'm talking about
randomly decided to throw a belt back on him. But you can tell again. Like, let's look at the difference of again, it's different because he carries a little more stroke. But Austin Owens, that was built in what, 4 weeks? Like it's you can do a lot more than what they did, and as a machine, they have proven that they can do a lot more with a little bit of time.
From what I remember, wasn't Austin never actually physically present for the build of that feud? Wasn't it a lot of just like pre-taped videos?
Yeah, just cutting promos, and Kevin Owens did all the heavy lifting. But they did a hell of a job to get you fired up for it. What do we got? We got Goldberg speeding into the arena. He had one, face to face with Gunther. That was kind of about it. And then we kept showing clips of him shitting on him when they were in Atlanta, almost a year ago.
It was, that was the end of last year. I don't know, dude. To
With
me,
a 4-week build, a 6-week build, I think one of those weeks somebody's getting injured because they've got to touch. Especially, that's the other question: who are you throwing Goldberg with at a SummerSlam? Is it going to be Gunther? And kind of like to this point, like, so now it's 5 weeks worth of Goldberg Gunther with the same results. I'm almost certain of it. It's not they're going to be the main event. The match is going to be 14 minutes long, and it is what it is. I think Goldberg, he's too savvy of a professional businessman to be talking like this. I think he should have been like,
you always talk like this, though, and that's...
I know, and it's
How about this? Maybe Goldberg...
Goldberg had a phenomenal, and not like phenomenal business-wise, but like in terms of what he got to do in WWE, a phenomenal series of runs. Look at what they did with Sting. The Sting is in an infinitely bigger name than Goldberg. I'm sorry. Goldberg was big for a year. Sting was big for 20 years.
Yes.
And they brought Sting in and jobbed him right out to Tripp. And then he went away until they brought him back to job him out to Seth. And then Seth hurt him.
Look what they did with Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner was built to be in the WWE. He comes in, he slips up once, and then he's teaming with Test.
I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. Okay, if Goldberg wanted a last match with a big pomp and circumstance and everything he wanted, maybe he should have retired 5 years ago. Maybe he shouldn't have stretched it out as long as he could to milk every penny out of Saudi Arabia or whatever, or who's ever willing to pay him over and over again. Maybe this is something that he should have stepped back and said 5 years ago, you know what, it's time to hang it up. Maybe this is also a product of wrestlers shouldn't be retiring when they're 60 and 65 years old.
I'm going to say something unpopular because I want to comment on something that's in the chat. It says they found a place for Jelly Roll in SummerSlam. Stop acting like they couldn't fit Goldberg in. Jelly Roll is going to bring in more attention for them than Goldberg does.
100%.
1,000% more. It's not even close. I don't like Jelly Roll in the ring, and I think Jelly Roll, and I said this during the stream, Jelly Roll has lost entirely too much weight to be seen as a credible threat to Logan Paul, because now he's just like a regular fat guy instead of like a Haystacks Calhoun the way he was. Like when he went face-to-face with Logan Paul, it looked ridiculous. But
he knows how to sell, though.
It's not saying you put the belt on Jelly Roll, but like having him in a tag match is a big deal.
And you know what Jelly Roll is going to bring in? Jelly Roll is going to bring in people who WWE might actually get to stick around and watch the product in the future. It's the audience that might be attracted to their current product. Goldberg represents a time and an audience that probably would complain about the current product. So by building up Goldberg and making him a big deal, you're bringing in people who probably won't even like or stick around with what you're doing.
A special attraction is a special attraction, whether it's a fat celebrity or an old wrestler who drew a lot of money. So if you can make room for one, you can make room for two. This didn't happen because they wanted to they half-assed it.
Kev, do you think
it is what it is?
Do you think Goldberg would have been happy with a non-main event match at SummerSlam? Do you think that would have made him happy?
Against El Grande Americano.
Yeah, against Chad Gable.
It depends on who he would have been wrestling. If it was some bullshit, mid-Carter, no, he would have been pissed off. Goldberg was in the match that he should have been in.
Yeah.
Or
he should put over Braun Breaker.
Or he should have been there, Braun Breaker. Is really what it should have been.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Kev, bro.
I don't think Braun is experienced enough to carry him to that yet.
Exactly.
I'd say Braun isn't seasoned enough to do that.
But that's the story, because Scott Steiner was one of Goldberg's big arch nemesis. So that story would have written itself, and that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Could they fit him on the card? Yes. But could they fit him on a card in a place that wouldn't still cause him to do this interview 2 days later? And I think the answer is no.
Right. Yeah.
I think that there's very little they could have done other than let him main event one of the biggest shows of the year.
What do you mean? They didn't do shit for this. That's why he's angry. He's not mad that he lost. They didn't do shit for this. This was a bullshit lazy feud. Lazy booking. That's what this was.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, you know what? And I don't disagree, but I don't think Goldberg deserves more. I think that's just it.
Thank you for just saying what you mean.
Yeah, I said that. Dude, I said that 10 minutes ago. No one paid attention.
I'll say it again. He got infinitely more than Sting, and then we had to deal with Sting jumping off balconies in AEW.
In a Vince world, Goldberg showed up in shape. Sting showed up a decrepit old man wearing a baggy T-shirt.
Because Sting didn't wear the T-shirt in WWE. He actually wore his gear.
That's true. He looked sad in his gear, and I love Sting, but he looked like a guy.
The WrestleMania gear, yeah.
You know what's funny? Yeah. CC in the chat said, how many people did Bad Bunny bring in? I don't know, but I can tell you what. After Bad Bunny came in, WWE went on to have record profits. So there's a good chance he brought in some fans.
He brought in WWE.
A lot of eyes.
Yeah.
WWE since WrestleMania 1 and 2 with all the celebrities, Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11, Floyd Mayweather to Mike Tyson. They love when they can do something that puts them on the evening news, that puts them on ESPN.
Yeah. And Jelly Roll, if you don't think Jelly Roll is a big deal, you aren't talking to people, because everyone knows who Jelly Roll is.
Jelly Roll is Adele for men who are forklift certified.
He's not Uncle Cracker. Okay.
And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The WWE is a very different place right now. They know that it doesn't matter what they put out on TV. Someone could take a dump in a ring and they'll leave the camera on for 2 hours. There's still going to be a couple of million people watching it. The WWE books their shows for viral moments. It's designed for maximum coverage on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter.
There's one other factor as to why this was a Saturday night's main event, and somebody just pointed out in the chat. It was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know, but it's just, again, doesn't mean it wasn't lazy. It was just half-assed.
I mean, if you're talking about the build, then you can make a case for the build, I think. But it's yeah.
They could have did well in 2.5 weeks as a build. I don't know what you could have done, but I agree with Kev, but I also agree with this. The build was half-assed, but come on, Bill. Television, you know about television, you know about how time management works, you know how things get cut short. Quit bitching.
I just can't think of a time when Goldberg's time with a company has come up and he's gone on afterwards and said, I really enjoyed my time with that company. I think every time he complains like this. And it makes me think that there's nothing they could have done to make him happy. That's how I feel. Yeah.
So, Forever Runner for $1.99 says Triple H is Vince and Goldberg is Bruno here. Did Vince not give Bruno a good send off?
Yeah, Vince should have over Bruno.
Yeah, there was no send off. Yeah,
gotcha. BT23 for $2 says name another big Hall of Famer with worse time in WWE than Sting. I couldn't tell you. What did he have? 3 matches and lost all of them? Did he even have 3?
He beat the Big Show.
Did he?
Yeah.
Huh, I don't remember that.
That was a main event of Raw.
John Williams.
We had a Nitro main event to close out of Raw.
Oh, that's awesome. John Williams for $4.99. Brett hates Goldberg more because Bill came back to wrestle. Yeah, I agree. I think Brett probably saw that as there being no justice in the universe. Forever Runner for $4.99. Since if I had $1 for every time Brett mentioned Goldberg, I'd have enough money to buy Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. He mentions him several times a day. Monkey Balls for $5. His new podcast with Goldberg and Rikishi. Call it Push My Son. John Williams for $4.99 when Scott's son is hired. Hey, Trip, want to take a trip down memory lane? No, suplex! Regina Sharp for $5 says, sorry, Mr. Goldberg, mistakes were made. John Williams for $4.99 says, Sting did the great honor of jobbing to me. And Regina Sharp.
I'm sorry. I got to defend Triple H a little bit. Triple H wanted to put Sting over. That was all Vince.
Of course it was. It was, yeah. My theory has always been, he was like, hey, I think I did this in Headlock Headlines where I was like, if you think about it, it's kind of like WWE versus WCW, isn't it? I mean, in a sense, Dad, it's kind of like you versus Ted Turner. Anyway, I really think I should put the guy over. Nah! Oh, all right, guess I have to go over then. Like, the second they started saying on TV, like, the avatar of WCW, I was like, oh no. I knew exactly where it was going then. And don't get me started on the NWO making the save for him. That made me so angry.
Made no sense.
They would never.
Did X-Pac have on the merged shirt? Like the
Did he? He probably should have.
DX shirt.
Probably should have. He's the only crossover, right? Unless count Shawn. Regina Sharp for $50 says, I did not realize Jelly Roll Morton was such a big deal. Man. Regina Sharp, thank you very, very much. I gotta find a clip to play for you real quick because you have been so awesome tonight. You know what? Here you go. For all the people that get upset on a daily basis. There you go. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, no, Jelly Roll is, apparently I didn't know who he was when he first showed up in WWE, but now I know who he is, and I hear about him all the time. So. All right. Where are we going to next? All right, time to listen to Tony Khan talk, right? I think it's time for that. All right, so Tony Khan did another one of his Twitter live streams this week. And Dis has captured it for us and sped it up to 1.5 times. And it's probably still going to be ungodly levels of long. So let's have a look at what Tony Khan had to say.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be live.
Oh, my gosh. He looks so stupid. Like he's holding the phone at the most unflattering angle a human being can hold it in.
We do need to address this. Tony Khan is roughly in our age group, right? So that means that
he's a little older than us, yeah. Or a little older than me.
So that means that he has grown up with the technology, right? So he's like, right. So he should be frightfully aware of the unflattering angle. / he should have a young intern who is aware of the unflattering angle. Why does he not know how to do this?
Or set up a damn like set up a tripod with a ring light on it or something, man.
How do you look like Mark Zuckerberg and Rand Paul at the same time?
This office. Why does he not have this?
Right.
I'm in a resort, and this is here for a reason. Mm-hmm. Why does he not have this?
I don't know.
Here on X, I've got people filing in, and it's the biggest week of the year for AEW. We're having such a great 2025, and we're going live today.
All right, God give me strength. He has been talking about this 2025 year like it is WWF in 1998. Like they are just doing record business where every conceivable metric is down. No.
With Supercard of Honor, and I just wanted to come in and talk to everybody. It's the biggest and best week we've had all year. We had a great Wednesday night Dynamite in Garland, and then a great Thursday night Collision last night. The fans have been...
I count 5 greats already, and we are seconds into this.
He's just
so great and so welcoming here in Texas around the Dallas Metroplex. And we've got a big event tonight, Supercard of Honor. We've got some great
So now he's mentioned Supercard of Honor twice.
Relationships that we built all over the world of wrestling. Night in Garland, and then a great Thursday night Collision last night. The fans have been so great and so welcoming here in Texas around the Dallas Metroplex. And we've got a big event tonight, Supercard of Honor. We've got some great relationships that we built all over the world of wrestling. I'm very honored that I'm going to be joined here today by my great friend,
That's like 10 greats.
Yeah, dude. His range and vocabulary is, geez, dare I say novice?
You know what? I'm actually going to keep a running tally of the greats. We're going to start over awful. And
Let's do it all over again. That's right.
Yep. We start all over again.
Can we place bets on how many greats it will be? Yeah.
All right.
I'm
30.
saying
over or under 30.
I know, because you probably counted 20 already. I'm going to say under 30. Okay, it'll be under 30.
All right, I'll say over 30.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do this. For Regina Sharp's super chat.
It's great to be live here on X. I've got people filing in, and it's the biggest week of the year for AEW. We're having such a great 2025, and we're going live today with Supercard of Honor, and I just wanted to come in and talk to everybody. It's the biggest and best week we've had all year. We had a great Wednesday night Dynamite in Garland, and then a great Thursday night Collision last night. The fans have been so great and so welcoming here in Texas around the Dallas Metroplex. And we've got a big event tonight, Supercard of Honor. We've got some great relationships that we built all over the world of wrestling. I'm very honored that I'm going to be joined here today by my great friend, the president, the brilliant mind of CMLL, Mr. Salvador Lutheroff. Salvador, my great friend, has promoted alongside AEW and Ring of Honor. And of course, with CMLL and Ring of Honor, we recently put on the Global Wars event together. And that was such a huge success for Ring of Honor. Of course, that was the same week.
How is something a success? How is something a success for Ring of Honor? Ring of Honor makes nothing. like how many like successes do you honestly think Ring of Honor has had since he's owned it?
His success is, did he like the match? That's his bar for success. So
great. We have 8 greats, by the way, so far.
Yep, so far.
Because we had the big AEW Grand Slam Mexico, which is one of the most important and successful AEW events ever.
Oh, here we go again. This is the last live stream that he did where he just talked nonstop about this Mexico show.
Part of this huge 2025 that AEW is having, but also
now the second time he's mentioned how great 2025, or third time he's mentioned how great his 2025 has been.
A lot of great things happening in Ring of Honor. The Global War show was fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on YouTube right now, and it's a must-watch, especially ahead of tonight's ROH Supercard of Honor event. I first took...
Good Lord! You've mentioned this like 5 times already. Is he just... do you think it's like on purpose? Do you think it's like he's trying to just like hammer it in? Like if he says Supercard of Honor enough times, people will remember
I think this
it?
is how... I think this is him. This is how he talks. This is how he communicates with people.
By the way, for those in the chat, he's not talking this fast. Dis sped this up by 1.5 times.
Right.
Because otherwise we'd be here all night.
He is not on the powder.
He actually talks very slow, typically.
Over ROH here around Dallas. Actually, the first ROH show I did was in Garland. Minutes away from here, it's where we did Thursday night Collision last night and Wednesday night Dynamite a couple nights ago. There's a great tradition in ROH. They've worked with CMLL many years dating back, but I think some of the best matches and best moments have come from AEW and ROH partnering with CMLL in recent years. I know AEW is having a great 2025, and I have to say one of my favorite events I've done as a wrestling promoter this year has been the ROH Global Wars. One of the best matches I've seen was Bandito, the world champion, defending the title against Mascara Dorada in Arena, Mexico. You can watch the match now on YouTube as part of the ROH Global Wars. What a win by Bandito, and tonight, what a test for Bandito.
Good Lord. And now he's doing this stupid thing where he pretends it's all a work. Like just talking and he is horrific to listen to.
At ROH Global Wars, the challenge was made Konosuke Takeshita, the Alpha, put out the challenge at Global Wars and said he wants Bandito. And tonight, that's going to be an absolutely fantastic title match coming off of Bandito making one of the best defense.
How about you make you have one of the people that work for you make a hype video for this show and these matches?
Yeah, instead of
you standing in front of a eggshell colored wall with your big glasses on, and the camera at the worst possible angle talking about how great everything is.
This is at 1.5 speed again, by the way.
It is, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you could tell, but it is.
No, we said it was. We said that.
Okay.
I think ever of the ROH World Championship. Certainly one of my personal favorite matches of 2025, Bandito retaining the title versus Mascara Dorada. And tonight, Bandito, what a test with the Alpha, Takeshita. And speaking of the big World Championship matches, at Global Wars, so many huge things happened, and we had a huge match featuring the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena, and now the top contender, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa picking up the win in Arena Mexico, her team victorious. Thunder Rosa has been on a roll. Both these women are lined up if their numbers are called.
How is this what you're talking about in your live stream? You're giving a recap of your shows. In theory, aren't the people that are watching this, didn't they watch your show?
It's basically just what came at the end of the press scrum, or the beginning of the press, when his part of the press scrum, when he just went on for 20 minutes at the beginning and didn't say anything at all. This is basically the same thing. Check the back check, Mark.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. Makes sense. So you have to head out.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but I don't really have a choice.
No, I understand. I totally understand, buddy. Go take care of your stuff.
Okay, thanks.
We love you. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
All right. Continuing on.
For the Casino Gauntlet match tomorrow at AEW All In, and both of them are primed for a huge world title fight tonight. Of course, Thunder Rosa taking on Athena for the World Championship tonight. So many big things happening tonight at Supercard of Honor, and this huge weekend, of course, AEW All In with Supercard of Honor.
Oh my God.
So many of the events culminated and built up.
He talks as if you're reading a newspaper clipping about AEW from the 1960s. Big weekend coming up. We're gonna be having Bandito facing he goes on and on.
Thing over and over and over again. It's we really had a great 2025 this year. We've got a huge show coming up, and it's going to be great. And it's just part of our really huge 2025 we're having this year. Where this weekend, we're having a huge show, and it's really going to be great because this 2025 has been so great for AEW. And this weekend, it's only going to get better because we're doing a huge show this weekend, and my goodness, it's going to be great. As great as this 2025 has been for AEW, and as great as this huge weekend is going to be for us, because we're doing a big show, and it's going to be great. And that's literally what he's doing.
Yeah.
For Arena Mexico at Global Wars. So that show, you can watch it now on YouTube. It was very important in the development of this pay-per-view tonight. Of the 5 matches we announced, really, I think 4 of them had major developments there. It's going to be a great card tonight. Of course, like I said, the world title matches with Athena versus Thunder Rosa and Takeshita versus Bandito. Both huge world title fights. We saw the Pure Championship match. It got set up in Arena Mexico when Blue Panther defeated.
He doesn't even have a glass of water next to this guy. He doesn't even know how to edit himself.
He hasn't blinked.
Yeah.
Lee Moriarty, and Blue Panther secured himself a shot at the ROH Pure title tonight here at Supercard of Honor. Very excited about this card with Athena versus Thunder Rosa, Bandito versus Takeshita.
Oh my God! How many times is he going to run down this card?
Of course, now Blue Panther versus Lee Moriarty for the Pure title. We had a Proving Ground match also that you can watch as part of this great Global War show. A 10-minute draw between the champion Nick Wayne and the challenger Teton results in this championship match tonight. And Teton has defeated Nick Wayne in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the Super Junior. So there's a lot of history between them. Another match coming out of this great Global War show. We also saw last week, not related directly to the Global Wars, the Infantry took the #1 contender spot for the tag team championship. The Infantry themselves made their presence very felt at Global Wars, as you could see at the end of the show following the Blue Panther.
He's not talking about AEW.
Wow.
He's just talking about ROH. Nobody cares.
Yep.
Panther Moriarty match. So it's going to be a great show. As I mentioned, those 5 matches we've announced. We have not announced yet a Women's World TV Championship match because at Global Wars that week with our great shows in Mexico with our partners, the champion Red Velvet was injured. And she's been doing a fantastic job as champion. She's had some great defenses, and she's represented both AEW and Ring of Honor very well as an ambassador and a champion wrestling in CMLL, which is really important to us. As I mentioned, Salvador's actually in town. Salvador's going to be here today. He's a great friend of mine, a great friend of the company. And Red Velvet's been a great champion. I don't agree with everything she's done.
He said it twice. Yeah.
How many times is he going to call this guy his great friend?
Aligning with Athena and all of her tactics, but I think Red Velvet has done some very great things as Ring of Honor TV champion. Unfortunately, she's injured. She cannot defend the title at Supercard tonight. So I've shifted around a lot of plans in the past week. I've been making phone calls. I've lined up a worldwide women's wildcard 4-way match for tonight. Some top international stars competing for the interim ROH World Women's Television Championship. So we'll have some great stars competing in a 4-way in the worldwide women's wildcard 4-way match for the interim ROH Women's World TV title tonight at Supercard. The winner will be the interim ROH World Women's TV champion. And we'll take.
Like, is it just that he's an idiot, or does he think that by saying things over and over and over again, he can just like hammer it into your head? Like, does he think it's like a repetition thing?
Nah, this is not like the big lie technique. This is something stranger. This is a man who's been a wrestling introvert for a long, long time. And he enjoys talking to himself. And thank God for the cell phone and Twitter X Live, because now he can talk to all of his goofy fans just like this, and they all love it. They all agree with it.
This is sped up 1.5 times.
Yep.
On Red Velvet to crown an undisputed ROH Women's World TV champion when Red Velvet is cleared, hopefully soon. And in addition, with, as I mentioned, my great friend Salvador Lutheroff in town, and 21. So many of the great
21.
That's
22.
21 great. 22.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. He did. Just did 22.
AEW stars here as well. We've got people from AEW, CMLL, and top promotions all over the world here for AEW All In weekend. And, of course, with AEW All In tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon, July 12th, as well as this big Supercard of Honor tonight. People are clamoring for spots and clamoring for spots on Supercard tonight. There are a lot of people lined up to participate, not only in the Worldwide Women's Wildcard International 4-way match, that we'll find some great stars coming in here to try to challenge for that ROH Women's World TV title, but also a lot of top men and top competitors clamoring to get on the show. So we've announced 5 matches that are great matches. Like I said, 4 of them came directly out of the Global War show. You can go watch that right now. We still have hours to go before Supercard starts. And with so many people lining up for spots here, I know it's going to be a great night of action. So come check it out. Now, in addition to that great international
26
worldwide women's wildcard 4-way match.
We're pulling up to 30. This is our own right here.
So I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention to anything you said because I got a phone call. What are we counting?
We're counting how many times he says the word great. He has said it 26 times.
I said under 30.
Over under at 30. He said under. I said over 30. So we are. He's got 4 more greats until he hits the over under. He has just said he's run down the card for this show 5 times. So let's just keep going.
For the ROH World TV title, I think we're also going to have some top competitors lined up for other spots on the 0 hour on the card. Like I said, in addition to that 4-way match, we had already announced 5 great matches. 4 of them, you can see how they came about out of the Global War show. It's completely free to watch on YouTube. And
how about phenomenal, you dope? Fantastic! It's gonna be spectacular. It's gonna be well, you can't say great. It's gonna be phenomenal.
I went back a few seconds just so we don't miss a great, because we're at crunch time here.
Right.
Great matches. 4 of them you can see out of the Global.
No, that one we counted that one already.
Okay.
War show. It's completely free to watch on YouTube. And I would highly recommend joining us tonight on watchroh.com for Supercard of Honor. Great way to spend a Friday night watching ROH and all these great wrestlers here in Arlington, Texas, all these great wrestlers around Dallas, right?
Look how much time we've got left. He's definitely got 2 more greats in him.
Oh, my.
Right now for AEW All In weekend and Supercard tonight. And speaking of AEW All In, you can watch it tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, July 12th. It's going to be a great way to spend an afternoon watching wrestling. 29. And I promise it's going to be, I think, the best AEW event ever in what has been the best year I think we've had of AEW in 2025. Thanks to everybody.
I cannot believe. Oh my gosh, he once again said what a great 2025 it's been. Wait, was that 30?
No, I don't think it wasn't.
Matthew Hossetter is saying that was 30. I thought it was 29.
He said 29.
Oh, he says we missed one. Okay, I'll. That's 30.
See why I don't gamble?
Shows. It's great to see you all here on X.
There's 31.
And thanks for supporting not only AEW, supporting ROH, CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and all of our great partners and all of the great pro wrestling all over the world.
32.
See you tonight for Supercard of Honor on WatchROH.com. And remember, tomorrow, AEW All In. Hopefully you can join us here in Arlington, Texas in person tomorrow afternoon. But if you can't, you can watch the show on all the pay-per-view providers, cable, satellite, and PPV.com, YouTube. And you get a $10 rebate on Amazon off the pay-per-view price, which is a great deal from our partners at Amazon. Check that out. Check out AEW All In tomorrow afternoon, and check out ROH Supercard of Honor tonight.
Say it one more time, you
Thank you very much.
fucker.
Great.
32 greats.
Great.
Oh, and it's going to be such a great 20. It's been such a great 2025, despite the fact that every major, measurable metric is down across the board for us.
I don't know.
It's just been great.
Lies.
Jeez.
Well, let's get to a few super chats before we hear from another idiot. Mr. Jamie Jam 88 for $4.99 says, "What? His name's Jelly Roll? I thought it was Male Adele. Sean, you gave me the wrong name again. Don't you dare laugh at me, Chopper Monster." David Carradine's Closet for $2 Canadian says, "Tony is slowly becoming Tooney in looks now. Yikes. I thought the same thing. He really is starting to look like the puppet."
Yeah. Yep. Exaggerated features.
Regina Sharp for $10. "He just keeps talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had a chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic."
She quoted Captain Picard, and that was spectacular.
Yes.
Well done.
Well done. Oh my goodness. All right, guys.
He
Well,
just kept talking in one continuous sentence so that he could not be interrupted.
let's see what another idiot has to say. Dave Meltzer had a big week this week. So this guy right here, Nick LaPiccolo, basically was talking about the difference between an AEW show and a WWE show, especially when it comes to VIPs and network people. Right, Awful, I believe he said something along the lines of how all the Netflix people show up for Raw, and then at
right, that basically AEW doesn't treat as executives as well as WWE does,
and they don't go.
Yeah, they don't go. And on a deeper level, it's because Tony and AEW are not respected, respectively.
Mm-hmm. So he said, "No one in Hollywood saw the advertisements, LOL. They saw a free invite to the Forum Club. That's it. Don't book a Texas death match if you're trying to impress people who lunch at Soho House." Which is true. They don't want to, network executives don't want to come and watch John Moxley on a bed of nails.
Or getting stabbed with a fork.
Yeah.
For real.
Legit. Or falling on glass. Real glass. Crimea River. So then, I'm sorry. So Dave goes, "Sorry you're having a meltdown over AEW not dying." So now Nick LaPiccolo is like a big name MMA agent. Like he represents a lot of fighters from what I understand, right? Like this guy's a big deal in the sport.
Yeah. And professional wrestlers.
And does not give a shit about AEW.
Right.
So here he comes. "Sorry you're having a meltdown over AEW not dying. And I know firsthand that type of match is a negative to some. And it was more over the line than Hell in a Cell with Drew versus Punk. That said, as far as generally offending some people offended by one would be offended by the other. And obviously the people who like one would likely like the other. I have close friends now that don't like AEW or WWE, but love Arena Mexico because it directly appeals to and doesn't turn off non-fans. But if you want to criticize that type of match, you have to do so for more than one company, because every company of any size but CMLL does stuff like that." Match. I hate the way he says match. He went on a tirade at this man.
He wrote an entire Observer newsletter.
Well, this guy, he goes, "You wrote a whole essay to say nothing. Everyone with a brain larger than that of a chipmunk understood."
Like that's insult that like a nerdy fourth grader would use.
Mm-hmm.
I am rubber and you are glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. I got him.
I know you are, but what am I?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So then somebody else replied, I understand that you've been blackballed from WWE and you don't like that they don't acknowledge you. I get it. But I get it. You need validation from the billionaire fan and all those NJBW guys. But after a while, the shtick gets old. And of course, you're blackballed. I was called and asked to be at Mania and multiple shows every year. And I had contact with people there multiple times a day. Read an issue before commentating.
Dwayne loves me, and I love Dwayne.
Oh, God.
He told me Levesque was a poo-poo head, and I believe it.
So by the way, like, seriously, like, you're trying. He's saying that he was asked to be at Mania and multiple shows every year and is in contact with people there multiple times a day.
I have never heard so many lies in my entire life other than when I was saying them.
Go ahead. My good friend Dwayne has people calling me all day. They tell me that my refrigerator is running. They remind me that Prince Albert's in a can. Wade cares about me and he checks on me.
So then, while this is going on, Jimmy Corderas asks Dave LaGreca and Bubba Ray Dudley, curious your thoughts on not spacing the 3 main events and having them back to back to back. Now, he addresses this question to Dave LaGreca and Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yeah.
So Dave Meltzer answers.
He comes into the huddle.
Dave Meltzer has entered the chat and everyone else has left.
A wild Dave Meltzer appears.
Yeah.
A wild Slapnuts appears.
Double J.
Jeff Jarrett.
You mean like every UFC show, almost every boxing and kickboxing show, 95% of pro wrestling shows tell WWE, and almost 100% in Japan and Mexico even today. Anyone with the slightest bit of historical knowledge, anyone who the slightest bit of historical knowledge of combat sports would question companies for not doing it, even though I get both mentalities. Like, what? No, okay, yes, boxing, kickboxing, sure. Legitimate sports, UFC, sure. Do it that way because those are the matches that people are sticking around for. So you want to put them at the end. But in a wrestling show where you are relying on storytelling and keeping the crowd hot, you have to space them out.
Yes, you control when you can do the damn match, you idiot.
It's not the same as a combat sport. I'm sorry.
What? Listen, sorry, guys. I hate to break this to you. It's make-believe. To play fighting. The other one is a real fight. It is uncontrollable and unpredictable, and you have to go with the momentum. The other one creates momentum.
It's artificial momentum. When you write a wrestling show, it's like you're writing a book. There has to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has to rise and fall. It has to take people on an emotional journey.
It's still real to me.
So then somebody says, why did you chime in when Jimmy didn't address it to you? He goes, I cover wrestling history and wrestling all over the world. So the seeming complaint was over something almost every company outside of WWE and AEW and wrestling, almost all in boxing and kickboxing and all in MMA do every single show.
Talk about not answering the question. Holy shit.
But like, if the WWE doesn't do it, it's not done in wrestling.
Yeah.
Because in America, in the United States, where this show aired, that's the way it's done.
Right.
Yep. Everybody else is poor, bankrupt, or laughed at except for the WWE.
Well, and like the way things work in Japan or Mexico, it's like an entirely different world over there with the way the crowds are. They're not the same. Ugh.
Dave cherry picks his quote tweets, by the way. It's very important for that to be considered, because just like he pick and chooses his arguments and picks and chooses when he wants to defend AEW. This week has been a banner week for him, though.
Seriously. Like, so not to be, so when Dave left to go handle this situation, it left the Nick LaPiccolo situation unmanned. But don't worry, someone else jumped in.
Oh, no.
Because Ricochet entered the chat.
Okay, yay.
So Nick LaPiccolo said, you can speak all you want, but nobody respects your voice. And then King Ricochet pulled his finger out of wherever it was at that moment to text the following. He's got 307K followers, so I'm pretty sure you're wrong about that. But at least he gave you a bit of attention. I'm sure that made you feel good about yourself. This guy is a very wealthy agent of major people in the industry.
Let's take a second, though. This fucking fake nerd, and when I say fake nerd, I don't mean like he's a fake nerd. I mean he's a fake and a nerd. Has never seen anything that vaguely resembles an actual sport in his life, so he wouldn't know who this is.
He's got 307,000 followers. Why is Ricochet coming out of the woodwork to run cover for Dave Meltzer? Because this is ridiculous. And who cares if he's got 307,000 followers? That doesn't mean shit. Nick DiPaolo over here is doing a great job running an agency.
That's because Dave is willing to sniff his finger. That's why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Nick LaPiccolo just responds with, "I'm not going to sign you, bro."
Yeah.
I wish it was Nick DiPaolo.
Sorry, Nick LaPiccolo.
Yeah, Nick DiPaolo. Shout out Nick DiPaolo.
So yeah, that was that one. But then Meltzer also commented on the Seth Rollins injury. So let's see what he had to say about that.
That everyone's insisting that it's real, and John Pollock said what he said, and I tried to get a confirmation from someone. But fuck, God, contact with them every day.
Yeah. 3 times a day.
John Pollock was mistaken, and they would not say that. So I can.
It's like a prison call.
Well, there is also another.
That's what it
scenario.
is.
Dave Meltzer, someone is calling you from the Wrestling Observer Correctional Facility. Yeah. Will you accept the charges?
Like it's 3 calls a day.
So I asked around a lot today as well, and there were also people that listened to the show last night, and everyone is insisting that he's hurt. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is insisting that he is hurt.
Yeah.
And we were told...
You could just hear the smarm coming off of Alvarez, by the way.
No.
He was hurt. And everyone's saying, yes, he's hurt. And then there's also the John Pollock story. Well, there is a third option, which somebody today told me what happened. They say that what is going on is the reason that these stories are conflicting is because he is hurt, but what happened on Saturday...
Oh my God, Dave, let him get the word out.
Dude, he's worse than I am.
he can't stand the fact that Brian has a scoop that Dave didn't get, so he's trying to inject himself in so that he can get it out before Brian so that it sounds like it's his.
There was a storyline, meaning... He is hurt,
but he did
But he did not get hurt.
Match
on that spot. That spot was a cover for an injury that he has, which he will have worked on, and they are in Birmingham. And so the idea that it was suggested was he will be out of action for a little while, but they're going to say 9 months or whatever, full. They'll give this whole thing. But he will be back much sooner than that. So actually, that would cover every base.
Yeah, that's right.
Storyline makes that. I'll just say that
exactly as I predicted, Brian.
That's right. You hear that, Miach?
That makes the most sense because one of the things I was told was...
Oh, now suddenly you were told things. You just said that no one would return your call about this. But well, I was told, but except for that one time where I was told things.
Well, because someone told me, because Brian just told me. That's what I was told.
So basically that the cash-in will come out of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
makes
say.
Oh, the cash-in comes out of nowhere? Wow, what a novel concept.
Right? Like we haven't seen that for what, 20 years?
Since Edge.
$14.99 dopes.
Absolute moron.
They could say we weren't lying. He was hurt, but he wasn't hurt on that spot.
It could be.
You'd had enough.
That was the end of the clip, but that's Dave for you. Wolfchild for $1.99 says, it occurs to me that TK talks like he books. Yeah. Wild all over the place. Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, that's all I got for this week, guys. So pending any more super chats coming in, I think that about does it for this week. So hold on. Regina Sharp checking in for $14.99. No one returns Dave's calls. I see what you did. $14.99. No one returns Dave's calls except the people who return his calls after Alvarez feeds him the great scoop he just discovered. $14.99, please.
Oh God.
So, all right. Awful. Why don't you tell the fine folks about your YouTube channel and your X and all that other fun stuff that you're up to?
Boy, I've really got to get to work on my YouTube channel, which is AEW FUL Wrestling on YouTube. I got to come out with a video soon, shortly. But you can also, you can also check me out on the Twitter machine, AEW FUL Wrestling. And thank you.
Thank you. Monkey Balls says for $5, Dave needs to cut back on the hair dye. It's killing what little brain cells he has left.
It'd be so funny how, I'm accused of being like, a geriatric online. But Dave Meltzer, apparently he's a spring chicken to a lot of these knuckleheads.
Mom, but his hair's black.
And he doesn't have any gray.
Yeah, none. Kevin Apollo, tell the fine folks where they can find out more about what you're up to. I know you and Lauren have a big show coming up soon.
That's right. What was the date again? It changed. I think it's that.
I don't know. It's your show, brother.
It's my show, but it's I'm just kind of gonna be where I'm told to be. But yes, that's right. Lauren and Apollo. I think you guys probably saw some of the. I think Pro dropped the interesting intro video.
He didn't drop it. I don't think he dropped it publicly, but we saw it in the back end.
Oh no, he put it on the Twitters.
Oh, did he? Okay, good.
Yeah. So Tuesdays after our fun wrestling endeavors, Laura and I'll get together. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do deep dives into lore. We're gonna do something that I love doing is we're gonna take popular movies and we're gonna play a recast where we're gonna swap out the stars with stars that were from that era and talk about how it could have been a little bit different. We're gonna take your questions, we're gonna take your requests, and it's gonna be a show for you about you. So send us your questions, be involved, and we're gonna have some fun, some late night fun shenanigans.
What if Michael J. Fox
was
the Terminator?
That's right. Come with me if you want to live.
So that'll be Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern. So pretty much right after Tooney Talk TV, you guys can head over to check out Lauren and Apollo. So it's gonna be a whole night of
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Oh, okay. So after this show, you can check out Lauren and Apollo.
Yes.
Ooh, double time.
It's gonna be fun.
And all of our friends will be there too. Everybody's invited. It's not just Lauren and I. You might see Marv. You might see Martin. You might see Nolan. You might see Awful. You never know who's going to be there.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for being here with us tonight and every week. Train of Thought just checked in with a last-minute super chat for $2. Thank you very much, Train of Thought. Appreciate that. And yeah, guys, we will see you next week, next Tuesday night, same time, same channel. And from all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!
Now, Perry the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator!
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you! Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you!
I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what?
Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooney Town. Thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.